Om Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samastajana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Samacharana Sarojam Sandranilambudabham Jagananihitapanim Mandanam Mandananam Tarunatulasimala Kandharam Kanjanetram Sadayadhavalahasam Vitthalam Chintayami Vitthalam Chintayami. OV 517. When you embrace him tightly with great force, the awareness of your body disappears and the concept of I-ness and yourness disappear. 518. When people are asleep, they are in a state of total awareness. But in your case, Sri Krishna is nearest to you in his real existence. 519. Yogis conceive that they are offering their actions to Lord Sri Krishna, but they do not know whether he has accepted them. In your case, however, Sri Krishna himself receives all your actions as offerings to him. 520. It means that being a loving son to you, Sri Krishna naturally takes for himself whatever you do, and he is very happy about it. 521. How can I measure your purity? You have sanctified the whole Yadu race by your loving Sri Krishna as your son, and thus you have earned a great glory and fame, and by thinking about it, all the people are uplifted. 522. If the name of Sri Krishna as the son of Vasudeva or the son of Devaki is remembered, the bindings of the worldly life are cut off. Thus, your names are very sacred. 523. There is no wonder that you will easily go beyond this mundane existence. But even those who actually hate Sri Krishna also get to the other shore of this life by their being connected with Sri Krishna by the devotion through enmity.
वैरेण यन्नृपतयः शिशुपालपौण्ड्र शाल्वादयो गतिविलासविलोकनाद्यैः ध्यायन्ताकृतधियः शयनासनादौ तत्साम्यमापुरनुरक्तधियां पुनः किम्.
Meaning of the verse. When Shishupala, Paundraka, Shalva, and other kings, thinking of him with a feeling of enmity while sleeping, sitting, or dining, held in their mind his gait, graceful movements, and glances, and attained similarity in form with him, what doubt should we have about the highly loving ones? 524. Shishupala, Vakradanta, Paundraka, Shalva, and others had nursed utter hatred towards Sri Krishna, and by that force of emotion, they had constantly meditated upon him. His image was before their eyes throughout day and night. 525. Just imagine Sri Krishna standing in the battleground, his body darkly shining, the saffron apparel around his lower limbs, his body adorned by strangely attractive ornaments, wielding mace, disc, and other weapons, bravely and menacingly staring at his enemies. 526. His enemies are also looking at him with frowning brow and anger concentrated in their glance, and continuously thinking about how to kill him. Thus, inwardly they become identified with him. 527. Kamsa was always concentrating on him out of fear, and he was looking at everything surrounding him, imagining that it is Krishna and nothing else. 528. When Kamsa by fear and Shishupala and others by hatred became one with him and attained Sauyajya, then why will not the faithful enjoy liberation by his devotion? 529. Over and above this, you are offering and surrendering with love your mind, your money, your soul, and your prana to the Lord Sri Krishna. So naturally, realization of Brahman has become a slave of your feet. 530. Complete realization is with you always, but alas, you are not aware of it. You are due to ignorance and maya, considering the Lord as your son, and therefore you are missing the whole game.
मापत्य बुद्धिमकृथाः कृष्णे सर्वात्मनि ईश्वरे माया मनुष्यभावेन गूढैश्वर्ये परे व्यये.
Meaning of the verse: do not think Krishna as your son, who is Atman of all, the Almighty, whose power is unknowable, who is indestructible, and only by his Maya appears to be only a man. 531. It is your narrow, ignorant attitude that you take Sri Krishna to be your son. Actually, he is the Paramatman, beyond all gunas and physical forms. 532. Do not think him to be a child. He is the God of the gods. This Sri Krishna is the greatest person, Paramatman dwelling in everything, the Lord of all, and the greatest yogi. 533. He is without any defects, without destruction, beyond the great perfected mind, Paramahamsa, controller of the organs called Rishikesha, and is the dweller of the innermost of all the world and Atma of the universe. 534. He appears to be an ordinary human being because of his power of Maya, but his greatness is unknowable. Being beyond all modifying qualities, he is permeating in the entire world.
भूभारासुरराजन्यहन्तवे गुप्तये सताम् अवतीर्णस्य निर्वृत्यै यशो लोके वितन्यते.
Meaning of the verse: the fame of the Lord, who has come on the earth for liberating people, protecting the saints, and destroying the burdensome devilish kings, is spread everywhere. 535. There are Kaliyavana, Jarasandha, and other evil-minded kings whose armies have proved to be a burden on the earth. 536. In order to relieve the earth of this burden, to enhance the pure religion, and to protect the saints, Sri Krishna has come as the incarnation of Vishnu. 537. The Lord Narayana has come as Sri Krishna to protect his devotees and to make the pious sages happy. 538. He is as if the lion killing the elephants that are Ashuras or demons, as if a cloud showering happiness over the forest of saints, and has come as your son, though he is the avatar of the Lord with all his divine powers. 539. There is unending fame of that Lord as the savior of all the three worlds, and all the gods, including Brahma, are singing in praise of his glory. 540. His glory is praised because of his great achievement in liberating humanity from bondage, and many great sages always sing songs of his life work and good qualities. 541. By remembering his name, the devotees defeat and destroy the death. He has come as your son, Sri Krishna. 542. Sri Krishna is the only one supreme Brahman in person. Do not suppose him to be your son. Even by understanding his real nature, you will have ferried yourself across the sea of this worldly life. 543. Thus the sage Narada told about the reality of the incarnation of Sri Krishna. Sri Shuka said, By hearing this, all were surprised and they wondered about the greatness of the Lord.
श्रीशुक उवाच एतत् श्रुत्वा महाभागो वसुदेवोऽति विस्मितः देवकी च महाभागा जहतुर्मोहमात्मनः.
Meaning of the verse. Shuka said, listening to this, the great soul Vasudeva was greatly surprised, and the great mother Devaki both dropped their illusion about Sri Krishna. 544. Shuka said, thus Narada told to Vasudeva the old history of the talk between Nimi and the sons of Jayanti and enlightened him about the reality of Sri Krishna. 545. Shuka further said, O Parikshiti, listening to the history told by Narada, both Devaki and Vasudeva were greatly surprised. 546. Both of them were really fortunate. Listening to the fact that Sri Krishna was Paramatman, they were astonished. 547. They immediately became free of their wrong assumption that Sri Krishna was their son and were convinced that he was Parabrahman, actually Lord Narayana. 548. How great was the fortune of that couple. As soon as they realized this, all the illusion and attachment disappeared.
इतिहासमिमं पुण्यं धारयेद्यः समाहितः यसा विधूयेह क्षमलं ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते.
Meaning of the verse. He who retains this sacred story in his memory shakes off his delusion during his lifetime and becomes qualified and worthy for attaining oneness with Brahman. 549. This dialogue of Nimi and the sons of Jayanti, which Narada told to Vasudeva, is really very purifying, and it removes the difference between Jiva and Shiva. 550. One who listens to this history with attention and devotion, 551, will be amassing the heaps of merit by that act of continuous listening and meditating, and therefore should be considered worthy of realization of Brahman. 552. By merely listening to every word and brooding over its meaning, the mind becomes pure, and he who does this realizes the absolute Brahman, which is the highest joy. 553. This is called Panchadayi, 5-chapter unit, which is like the 5 faces of the Lord Shankara. This is the flag hoisted to explain and declare the hidden knowledge of the 11th skanda of Bhagavata. 554. This is not only the unit of 5 chapters, but actually the 5 vital forces of the 11th skanda have come forward to give to the devotees advice about the pure wisdom. 555. This is not only the unit of 5 chapters, but should be considered as the sweet note of Shuka, the Kaku, and the 11th skanda is the season of spring, and the devotees are humming as Brahmaras, blue beetles, during that season. 556. This is also not a proper simile. This is the 5-faceted crystal of sugar sent to the devotees who are rich with knowledge so that they can taste its sweetness. 557. Instead of being the 5-chaptered units, it should be considered as the auspicious colored rice with 5 types of scents sent forward to invite the devotees in advance for attending further festival of knowledge. 558. It may be said that the kind Lord has sent this palaki, inviting his devotees to come to listen to the deep wisdom of devotion contained in further parts of the 11th skanda. 559. The 11th skanda is the highest half syllable or the great pilgrimage of the time of Ardhodaya, and this is the drum of 5 chapters beaten to welcome the seekers. 560. This unit has earlier seen the blissful ceremony of the dialogue of Sri Krishna and Uddhava and has come with great eagerness to give advance information about it to the devotees. 561. There was a checkpost of ego which was removed by the Lord Sri Krishna, and by his kind and assuring hand opened the sacred place of pilgrimage of Atman for Uddhava to take a dip in it. 562. This 5-chapter unit has come forward in advance to tell about the wonderful greatness of that tirthas of liberation, advising all who are tired in the race of the worldly life to go there for cool comfort. 563. It is a rare and auspicious chance to be lucky to listen to the stories of Uddhava and Sri Krishna. And this 5-chapter unit has come forward in advance to convey the good news about that auspicious time. 564. The Lord has made this easy footway of Bhagavata for Uddhava to go on foot through the sea of worldly life. 565. It is always easier to walk than to swim, and Bhagavata way of life is the easy pathway, and this 5-chapter messenger has come to guide the devotees, including women and low-class persons, in seeing the path fully. 566. The sweetness is going to be more intense in the further narration containing this commentary, and this unit is telling all to have the sweet taste of the juice of the advice given by the Lord in the further chapters. 567. In the dialogue of Sri Krishna and Uddhava, there will be a grand dinner party of divine delicacies of Brahman, and groups after groups of seekers will rush there for the bliss of self-knowledge. 568. The abstract Parabrahman has become embodied in the form of Sri Krishna, in the form of Krishna. The gods from heaven are eager to come to have the glimpse of the glorious and attractive appearance of his body and to witness the beautiful expression of wisdom in his teachings. 569. The songs of praise by the gods, the ascetic development of Uddhava, the intelligent dialogue of both Uddhava and Sri Krishna will make turbulent the supreme bliss. 570. That story which contains all these will be told in next chapters, and there I request the listeners to look at the meaning of the commentary with the viewpoint of self-knowledge. 571. It is like us preparing a good kite, ourselves making it fly in the sky, and ourselves feeling happy about it. 572. So the Sadguru similarly creates the good poem himself through me, tell the meaning himself, and in the role of a listener himself enjoys the story. 573. Now being alone without loneliness, and one single man, Eknath, and the friend Janardana, who is without the second, or the sense of duality, has himself explained the meaning of the volume further. 574. Eknath has surrendered himself to Janardana without touching the two-ness. By touching the feet of the listeners, he will tell the story further. 575. Though the names are two, the reality is one, and he who will consider this will also derive the greatest bliss. 576. Eka or Eknath is subservient to Janardana and has his blessings, by which this commentary on Panchadhyayi, 5 chapters, could be completed. Here ends the Marathi commentary by Sant Eknath on the 5th chapter of the 11th Skandha of the Bhagavata Purana, dedicated to Lord Sri Krishna.
Excellent. Panchadhyayi, that's the word. Excellent. Give your thoughts, Sajivji, first while you were reading what you felt.
Yeah, actually, the thought that even enemies can get that salvation by just meditating on, or by just thinking every time about the Lord. So it need not be a question of love. It can be any emotion, but expressed towards the Lord that can gain salvation. That is one thing, first thing. And then the subsequent verses all talk about the Panchadhyayi and Bhagavata, I think, yeah. That was.
Beautiful. All the verses beautiful. And the description, like Vasudev gets to nurse Bhagwanji. So that description where whatever he's doing, he's serving the Lord and he doesn't need any signals, like for us, if we are doing something, we need some signals whether we are right. But for him, the Bhagwan is right there. So that description I enjoyed so very much. That was also beautiful.
And there
And
was
then
that
there was,
advice that Vasudeva should not look upon Krishna as his son or a child, but rather
uh,
as Paramatman, and it is like the whole.
yes, that was very beautiful. Yes.
That was,
And even that 561, there was a check post of ego, which was removed by Lord Sri Krishna, and by his kind and assuring hand, opened the sacred place of pilgrimage of Atman for Uddhava to take a dip in it. So I felt that Ovis too beautiful, written in the beautiful verses. Lataji, you have anything to comment?
I mean, for me too, what Sajeev ji said in the beginning, that even people who have really enmity, they feel a hatred, also get blessed. So it shows two things is one, Bhagwan is so all forgiving. And number two is they don't realize that by actually constantly even hating, they're thinking about him is actually they're meditating on him. So they do get, they are blessed in that way, in the sense, of course, it's not the right way to do it, but they also get moksha, I guess. And
Yes, they. So whomever Lord has killed, they all have got moksha.
yes, it has happened like that. All ever, whoever he has killed. Yeah. I mean, we saw in Narayaniam also
Yes.
that, that king.
And except those whose karma traya had not happened, they were
Yeah,
born. This is what. So
exactly.
how, see, Narayanam is also on Bhagavat, and Eknathi Bhagavat is also the 11th skanda of Bhagavat. So everything is going parallel only. So same thought process, same thought. And
So
unless it is drilled into us in several ways
yeah, the
by
same.
several Sant and Mahatmas, it is not going in.
Yes, exactly.
Beautiful.
that
Good.
finally that Eknath, that the name Eknath is from Eka, like how he's become one with Janardana, like that is also nice. Yeah.
It was also nice. Okay, so over to you, Sanjeevji, for closing prayers.
ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु.
Hari Om. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Sanjeevji,
Thank
for
you.
reading it for us.
Hey, I mean, I can read also if it's okay.
Yes, you can.
Start the sixth chapter.
Yes, yes, Lataji. Monday you can take it.
Thank you.
Hello, I put it in the group and then we can fill it over there,
Okay,
Sanjeevji.
thank
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you, Hari.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, Anupama.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om.